kill the virus, and we're in the process. We're not there yet, but we're starting to drive those curves down. And then once we've got those curves down, and we've got the testing and the contact tracing protocols in place, then we can responsibly reopen our economy. So I want to open up the casinos as much as anybody, and I know a lot of the workers are suffering enormously. And it's an awful crisis, not just a healthcare crisis, it's an awful economic crisis. But if we don't do this right, it'll be a bigger healthcare crisis and a bigger economic crisis, and I can't let that happen.
Governor, you don't know how it does our hearts good. I'm speaking, I know, for Audio and ACP members, to hear a leader who supports facts over fiction and appreciates science. Let me ask you another question. You stood up a commission today. Can you tell our listeners and viewers something about that commission that you stood up today?
You bet. So I mentioned the 6-point recovery plan for the state, and I announced a commission today that would advise us on that 6-part plan, particularly the economic recovery part of it. And it's an extraordinary group, actually. Some Jersey folks, my dear friend, Reverend Regina Thomas, is on that list, and I love her, Atlantic City's own.
Right.
It's co-chaired by Dr. Shirley Tillman, who's the former president of Princeton University, and Ken Frazier, who's the CEO of Merck & Company, one of the great pharmaceutical companies in the world, headquartered, I'm happy to say, in New Jersey. It's a commission of 16 folks with real, plus ex officio participants, importantly, including my partner in government, Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. It's a really outstanding group, some folks who have had not just Jersey experience, but national, if not global experience. And it's their wise counsel we're going to seek as we find our way forward. There's no playbook for the pandemic, right? So nobody has done what we're trying to do as a state or a nation right now, and we're going to need all the help and advice that we can get.
Governor, thank you. Let me ask you this: how would you rate the compliance of New Jersey citizens and residents with your stay-at-home and your social distance measures that you put forth?
I'd say up until now, very high, and I think folks need to hear that, and they need to hear the thanks for that, and they need to know that they're making a difference, because when you stay at home, you lower the amount of infections, which lowers the amount of hospitalizations, intensive care unit beds, ventilators, and please God, fatalities. But here's my concern, Kaleem. It's now a number of weeks into this. The weather is getting better. Folks are looking only 4 weeks from now, or less than 4 weeks, to Memorial Day, where we not only salute and thank our veterans, but it's typically the beginning of the opening on the shore of the summer. Folks can't let their guard down. I promise you we will let them know, not a second longer than they have to, but we'll let them know when they can start to relax some of these standards. Right now, they've got to continue to stay at home, stay the course. And if we do, we're winning this. We are winning this definitively. If we stay the course, we will win it. And I want to thank everybody for that.
Okay, Governor, let me ask you this. I'm a Rutgers graduate. I'll say that up front. Rutgers has developed the saliva test. Is there any way that an NAACP wants to take the leadership along with other groups that we can try to get a test like that that's less invasive into underserved areas so that we can get people tested that really need to be tested and most likely don't have access to insurance?
Yep. Listen, I can't speak for Rutgers, but the answer has got to be yes, right? So Rutgers, it's not only a big deal in New Jersey, which it is,
right,
but it's a big deal nationally. The president himself has spoken about this. The Rutgers saliva test is not only less invasive, but it can be done at scale, like 10,000, 20,000 more a day, and the return comes back within a day or so. So the answer has got to be yes. That's exactly the sort of testing protocol we need. And by the way, one of the members of our recovery commission is the incoming president of Rutgers, the former provost at Northwestern University, Dr. Jonathan Holloway, who's a star, and I'm honored that he'll be advising us.
Well, Governor, you're to be saluted for putting that commission together. I have to admit that I've become a Murphy junkie. I'm watching all you on TV all the time and reporting to Yolanda. I saw you, and you're right. There are superstars on that commission, outstanding people, all of them, and individually and collectively. I mean, you have some brain power there. And again, like I said, we salute a leader who takes facts over fiction, who supports science. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the commission. For those people who have not seen it, that balances, in my mind, the economic concerns and the public health concerns, because it's not either or. We have to do both. And we appreciate the fact that you appreciate that. Yolanda, do you have a closing question for the governor?
Yes, Governor. My last question has to do with economics again, right? So we know that not only are we a wealthy state, but we also have different spectrums of the economic effects of this COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of renters are facing difficulties in paying their rent for the next month. What kind of executive orders or initiatives has your administration put together to help those who are renting alleviate some of the problems they've had with the pandemic?
Yeah, you know what we've done? We've actually done a lot. And by the way, you said that you're a junkie of mine. I want to say I'm a junkie of you all. So I love what you're doing, Yolanda and Kaleem, and
thank you.
Keep it up. And I'm a former national board member of the NAACP, which I wear for the rest of my life as a badge of honor. So bless you for everything you're doing.
Governor, let me tell you, we said that before you came on, and we also thank you for helping us get the 2022 convention in Atlantic City. We mentioned that.
That was a big day. That was a big day. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. Yolanda, we've done a fair amount, and I want to get my colleagues maybe to come back and give you a more comprehensive, but we've made sure you can't be evicted. We've given big holidays, particularly for 30,000 renters where New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, can control. We've given a lot of relief on mortgage windows. We've just extended the property tax grace period this month, May 1st payments from 10 days to 30. As I mentioned, you can't be evicted or foreclosed. And if you're a landlord who has a mortgage and your mortgage banker is giving you relief, we expect you to pass that relief on to the folks who are renting from you. Good. So there's a whole series of steps that are in the spirit of we all need a little bit of a holiday right now. We need some breathing room. And by the way, we don't expect folks at the end of that breathing room to have piled up the accrued payments and ask you to deliver them on the 91st day if there's a 90-day window. We want folks to sort of smooth that out. You know, we've also, I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, I signed an executive order that allows folks to reach into their security deposit to allow them to pay their monthly rent, which is another step we've taken. When you add all that up, hopefully we're giving some people some relief. It's an awful blow right now. The unemployed, the small businesses, the renters, the folks with mortgages. This is unprecedented, and we want to give folks as much of a breathing room space as possible.
Mayor, your staff has indicated your schedule is very, very tight. We appreciate it. Would you like to have any closing remarks?
Now, listen, I'm big fans, both of you, Kaleem, and you and I have been friends now for a bunch of years. Yolanda,
absolutely.
Likewise, a big fan of yours. To everybody out there listening and watching, please continue to stay home, stay away from each other, and thank you, because what you've done has made already a huge difference. But we're not over. It's not over yet. We're not in the end zone yet. We're not out of the woods. Please stay the course. The minute we can start to take some pressure off this and allow you a little bit more freedom, I promise you we will do that. God bless you all, and thank you all.
Thank you so much, Governor. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, Yolanda, I think the governor answered a lot of concerns of people. He showed, as we said, that he is a leader that supports facts over fiction, and that he is someone who appreciates science, and also to our business community, that he balances the concern about the economy with public health concerns. And that's what we try to do here on the NAACP Hour. We're concerned about the economy, of course, because many of the people that we represent and we advocate for are at the bottom of the economic ladder. So we have to support the economy getting better. But we also know that many of the people that we advocate for are at the bottom of the health ladder. And we can't let that go unspoken to. We have to speak up for those who are locked out of the corridors of power, the least, the lost, and the last. And that's what the NAACP does. That's our history. That's our platform. That's our base. That we stand on that. We have to have a good economy, but not at the expense of public health, not at the expense of people's lives. So we appreciate the governor so much for taking his time to be on our program. And I don't know, did I mention our guest for next week, Yolanda?
You have not, so please for your audience.
Okay, for next week, our guest is our confirmed guest at the 5 o'clock time is the Attorney General for the state of New Jersey, Attorney General Grewal, who is a friend of the NAACP, who has been down here in Atlantic City before when we had a voter program. He was our guest speaker. He also was here in Atlantic City last summer for a community walk that we had in conjunction with the Coalition for a Safe Community. He was also here in January speaking at the Report to the People at Tropicana. So he is someone who knows Atlantic City and who is comfortable coming here, and we'll be very happy to have him as our guest. And Yolanda, he is going to be 60% your guest and 40% my guest.
That doesn't sound fair.
That doesn't sound fair. And you have the first question, and we're so happy to have him. Yolanda, do you want to repeat some of the announcements since we have 9 minutes left?
Absolutely. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes.
Okay. First, I want to talk about what's happening tonight. So April 28th at 8 p.m., we are having another national NAACP town hall. It's going to be a coalition of different thought leaders, but also BET Networks is one of our sponsors. So tonight's call-in will have Senator Amy Klobuchar, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms from Atlanta, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and Governor Andrew Cuomo, our neighbor in New York. So if you'd like to participate in that teletown hall featured by the NAACP's National Office and BET Network, you can call in at 866-757-0756. Again, 866-757-0756. And you can also.
What time is that again, Yolanda?
8 p.m. tonight, April 28th. And you can also pre-register at NAACP.org, where there's an opportunity for you to ask questions of the panelists. Here in our local area, we are still moving with our local initiatives, and one of them that's very important to our Atlantic City area and beyond is the census. It's the census year. We want everybody to remain counted. So on May 14th, our NAACP Atlantic City branch will be hosting a census seminar at 5 p.m. It will be a virtual platform. We will share the program on our social media networks. We will provide more information about that next week as well. So visit our NAACP Facebook page. And you can also email us any questions in advance at acchapter.naacp@gmail.com. Again, for those who are in Atlantic City, please remember, and we haven't said it enough, you do have a special election on May 12th. If you have not received your ballot yet, that should be coming in your mail shortly. Again, please remember that this is a vote-by-mail election, which means there will be no polling locations available and that you have to vote by mail. So the ballot that you receive in the mail or have received in the mail is your actual ballot. So use that. And for everyone who wants to get that in early, the earlier the better. However, you can have it postmarked up to the day of election. But please, if you have it, just fill it out and send it out. There's no cost for the mailing. The last remarks I have before I turn it back over to you, President, is that we are fortunate to have a governor who is a civil rights thought leader. And, you know, as we embark on being one of the first states that is really facing this pandemic, we are fortunate to have someone who sits in that chair and thinks about the people who are Black and brown, marginalized, low economics, thinks about all of us, really, and really puts those plans into fruition before they're needed. So I do want to thank the governor for his words, but certainly keeping in mind for our community that this is the first time we're ever facing this, and there's no right solution, because we haven't had to have a solution yet. And it's a process, but it sounds from the governor's administration and from the governor's words himself that he is forward thinking when it comes to communities who are impacted the most. And those are minorities and people who are on the lower end of the economic spectrum. So thank you, and phenomenal guest. I look forward to my legal colleague, the Attorney General, next week as my 60% guest. You said I'm 60%?
I don't know. I think I might have to drop that because I think you're taking advantage of me because I'm a layman here. No, but we are honored to have, as you said, the Attorney General. Let me just say thank you to all of our guests. I think we had outstanding guests every week, but this week, because we had several, Mayor Small, Bishop Hargrove, and certainly last but not least, Governor Murphy, to take time from his schedule, what he's doing, to spend time with us is special, and we appreciate him. And as you said, Yolanda, he has a civil rights posture. He just didn't adopt that when he got elected. He was in that posture before he got elected. And we can't say that enough. And I think our challenge is to make sure that we formulate policies and programs that we can present to him and to the legislature to close the gap in health disparities, to close the gap in other disparities and civil rights issues in the state. And I think we have a partner in the governor. We were fortunate to have Senator Rice, who is the chair of the Legislative Black Caucus in the state of New Jersey, the fourth person in seniority in the Senate in terms of service. He was our guest on the radio. He is a champion of civil rights. So the NAACP is actively involved in making things better for everyone, and with particular emphasis on those people who need the most attention and help. And we have good partners, and we are grateful for that. Let me just, again, underscore the May 12th special election in Atlantic City. The Board of Elections has informed us that you should be receiving your not your sample ballots, your mail-in ballot. Your mail-in ballot tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. By the end of the week, everyone should have had all of the ballots in Atlantic City should have been delivered. And Yolanda put up on the screen the number for you to call for the County Board of Elections if you have problems getting your ballot. And as the mayor indicated, take your time and fill your ballot out. You can't make a mistake. That's not to make anybody nervous, but that's just to say that you have to be precise. And the number is 609-625-7000 if you have a problem with your ballot or if you don't receive your ballot. And as I've said before, the NAACP has taken a position that we are adamantly against the change of government. We have been supported in this by the state NAACP. All the chapters are standing with us against the change of government. And just for the record, Yolanda, a lot of times in politics, people say it's hard to get a consensus, but we have a unanimous consensus by all of the elected officials in Atlantic City, our freeholder in District 1, Freeholder Corsi, all of our council members, the state assembly delegation, Assemblyman Massio, and Assemblyman Armato, and the Fellowship of Churches, and the civic groups in Atlantic City. All of these entities are united in the effort to push back this change of government. And I think that in itself is a great, great statement to have all these different entities united in one purpose. And Yolanda, as we close out, do you have any final statements?
Again, I want to thank our phenomenal guests, Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small Sr., Bishop Hargrove from the Fellowship of Churches, and Governor Murphy. We are really inspired by the three of you and continue to do the groundwork that really helps not just the New Jersey community, but communities around the country as we are front runners in this COVID-19 pandemic. And even how we vote, New Jersey is really coming up with new legislation and new ways on how we can impact people and their right to exercise the franchise. So again, as I say every segment, vote. I have a vote pin on for those who are listening. So please vote this year and every year because your vote is really important. And be counted to census year.
Okay. As we close our program out, we encourage you to think about those people who have passed away with the virus, to lift up those frontline people who are helping us move forward every day, those people who are first responders, those people, as the governor says, who drive buses, who work in food distribution, who are mail carriers, who work in nursing homes, and who are on the front line of this terrible, terrible virus. Together, we will win. And as we say in the NAACP, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you, and good evening.
Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today.
What's up, South Jersey?
Good evening, Atlantic City, South Jersey. This is Susan Corngut and my main man, Dr. Love.
Pastor Willie.
I'm sorry, he's being modest. This week it's going to be official.
Tomorrow.
Dr. Willie Dwayne Francois, we are so proud of you.
Oh, man, that's what's up. You're listening to Side Pieces with Susan Corngut and Pastor Willie, and we're excited for another week to be here. Thank you for letting us come into your cars, come into your homes, come into your offices, wherever you're listening to us, for a show that's so radical, a show that's so fun.
Yes, and if you guys like my mask, those of you watching on Facebook Live, Instagram, it was made by the fabulous, the one and only Khadijah Wright.
Shout out.
Wonderful designs. That's Onederful, because that's how she rolls. So if you go on Facebook, Instagram, look for her, Khadijah Wright, WRIGHT, and get these masks because now it is required, and she has incredible designs, and I'm so glad I got mine early because they are going like hotcakes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
So tell us about how it's going to feel.
I have no idea how it's going to feel. I'll let you know tomorrow how it feels. So tomorrow around 12:30, that should be official, around 12:30.
Oh, we should do, where are you going to be tomorrow?
Probably the office.
At Mount Zion?
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody is interested in getting a car parade together, let's do it.
Hilarious.
That's what we should do. Let's get our signs ready that say Dr. Love and Dr. Francois. We are so proud of you, really. And if you want to hear about his dissertation, I mean, I'm going to post something later on Facebook. But it's pretty amazing. And why don't you tell everybody what it's about?
Nah, not now.
All right. Well, I'll tell you. All right. I'll tell people this. You don't want to. All right. So we will discuss it later. I think we're going to have a caller, and somebody who's doing some good work in the community. And I hope it's going to be. Oh, we got disconnected. Okay.
So Veronica's calling back. Cool.
Well, let's hope so. Something.
Oh, that's a Martin Luther King Jr. hat you have on. I thought it was a Tiger King hat.
Oh my gosh! Come on. Yes, quite a difference. This is an official MLK hat because I got this in the museum when I went flew into Georgia, went to Alabama to go get Mrs. Rudolph.
Oh wow! Right.
Little girl.
So you made a stop at the King Center?
Yes.
Cool.
Unbelievable, really.
It's a very important place.
Oh, I couldn't go through his house because the tour was that you had to get tickets in advance.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
was
is
packed.
definitely a tourist attraction there, alongside the King Center and the the Heritage Ebenezer Sanctuary and the Horizon Ebenezer Sanctuary. These are important parts of the black religious imagination, black radical imagination.
It was a beautiful experience. So it really was a once in a lifetime experience. Anyone who goes down there, you have to go. Do we have Veronica back on the line? Hello, Veronica.
Hi, how are you?
This is Veronica Grant for people who, is there anybody who doesn't know you, Veronica? I mean, you're famous, right?
Yes.
I love it.
Do you know Pastor Willie?
No, but I've seen him. I've been to the church.
Oh,
Great.
I'm glad you've been in.
That's Mount Zion. Shout out to Mount Zion Baptist Church. But Veronica, you're doing such amazing work in the community, so we want to hear all about it. But first, tell us your story and how your passion came about.
Well, thanks for having me on the air. December 11, 2009, my mom was murdered, and it was a younger guy that committed the murder. So what I took to my passion was that I wanted to give back to the community. So I obtained my 501(c)(3), and I'm working towards opening a transitional home for the youth. My passion about this is I want to give back. And it's a lot of families out here, they're single families, and the kids are not getting the attention that we got back in our day. So instead of sending them to prison, they would come to me for a second chance to get back home in the community to their families.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful. And isn't it true that so far the police have not made an arrest in your case, in your mom's case?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes, that's correct. December 11th was her 10-year anniversary. We did a 10-year anniversary at my home, which I want to thank you for being a part of.
You're welcome.
And,
Thank you for inviting me.
And I'm moving on. I'm not stopping. I need answers. I need justice, not just for my mom, but for a lot of people out here that's afraid to talk.
Todd, tell us about, now that you brought that up, tell us for anybody who might not know about the Code of Silence.
Well, I think the Code of Silence is not right. And I say that because people don't understand until it knocks on their door, and then they want the help that I'm seeking. So I think if you know.
Did we lose her?
Did we lose her?
Yeah. I mean, clear. Veronica was going to say, if you know something, say something, because, and I think when Veronica says that, she's so right, because she says you don't know until it knocks on your door, and I think that's so powerful.
Yeah, it's real, because I mean that the Code of Silence is the no snitching rule is so pervasive, and what we don't realize is that the rule is born out of this myth that our silence protects us, but our silence really betrays us, and our communities are less safe when we are not daring and courageous enough to do the risky thing of saying what we know. And so it's a deep culture that has some serious psychology around it, serious type forms of self-protectionism, that people actually believe that they're protecting themselves, protecting their communities, but really we're keeping particular elements in our communities alive. The most dangerous elements of our communities, we keep those alive when we buy into that no snitching culture.
Yeah. Veronica, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I just finished reading Tina Turner's autobiography, and she talks about turning poison into medicine. And I think that really applies in your case. What you're doing and trying to give back and paying it forward and keeping your mom's legacy alive is really turning poison into medicine. So you should be commended, because how you get up and go on every day knowing that the person who did this to your mom is out there, that's what it's all about, because You got to just keep moving forward, and God forbid it, until someone stands in your shoes, no one knows how you feel. So you really are to be commended for it. And of course, it goes without saying, your mother is looking down and is so proud of what you've done with her legacy and what you continue to do. Tell us how people can donate.
Well, what I'm doing right now, I posted on my Joyce J. McKinnon page. I'm taking donations so I can give back to a family or two during the COVID-19. So you can go on my page, the Joyce J. McKinnon page, and you can donate $2, whatever you have to offer, so I can give back to the community.
Okay, and for and that's on your page, Veronica Grant, and then this is for your mom, Joyce J. McKinnon. And the page is your page,
Yes.
right, Veronica Grant?
Yes.
Okay. And I also just want to make a point to say there is a $1,000 reward being offered up if anybody has any information on the murder of Joyce J. McKinnon. Let's bring this around. Let's bring this full circle, and let's get this family justice, because nobody deserves what they go through every anniversary, every Christmas, every birthday without their mother, sister, aunt.
That closure that's necessary too in this second.
Yes, closure. Yes. Veronica,
Yes.
last word to you, Veronica, if you want to say anything.
Let's all come together as one, and as my slogan for the Joyce J. McKinnon slogan is, together we make a family, so we can't do it without one another. So let's come together as a family and do what we can do for our community.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Veronica.
Thanks for calling in. We hope we brought you some donations, brought your mom to light, and let's keep her legacy alive and keep it going forward. We love you, Veronica.
All right, love you too. Thanks for having me.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. Stay safe. Thanks for coming on.
You know, I think that
Bye-bye.
this moment is also a time that we're able to see the best of our humanity. We're able to see people making very selfless forms of public demonstrations. I mean, and I don't think we highlight those types of stories enough, that even in the midst of a pandemic that has everyone reeling with anxiety, and we really don't know, to some extent, many of us don't even know where we're going to get our next resource from. That 26 million people are without jobs right now nationally. Who knows what the numbers are in Atlantic City right now? I saw them. But we know that they're staggering as well. And people are still finding ways to volunteer, finding ways to be entrepreneurial in the midst of this. And I think there has to be just some sort of way we have to demonstrate a celebration of this broad humanity that we're seeing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, to see people pulling together, still staying positive, and to put it in perspective, you said there are 26 million people who are unemployed right now. During the Great Depression, it was 30 million.
Yeah.
So this time is no joke, and I know you're charged with keeping people positive,
Yeah.
and keeping them focused. How do you stay
And
positive?
that was 26 million last week. We don't know what this week's
Yeah.
numbers will be.
Who takes care of Pastor? How do you stay positive? How do you stay focused?
You know, I don't know. It's a unique time to think about self-care practices, and I mean, because that's really what it is, just finding things that give me life. I've actually sort of trucked through this and have been working through this, and haven't done the kind of the proper forms of self-care that I know I need. So I'm not the best example of how we should be caring for ourselves through this.
Do you work too much through this time?
I mean, I've stayed steady. My life has almost seen very little disruptions, with the exception I'm in town all the time now. But
I'm just going to say it
But
because
in
I know
terms
it's selfish, because we love having you.
But in terms of the workload, I mean, everything's been replaced with like digital forms of the same type of work that you've been doing. I can't even overstate how many video conferences, how many virtual conferences, how many of the kind of digital engagement has just increased. So it's the same kind of taxing work, which I think is less healthy because I don't think we actually know how we're being traumatized through this right now. There's no way we're coming out of this without some forms of PTSD, and we have to start attending to those things. So I have not processed how unwell I may be right now, actually.
And don't you think that there's probably a lot they're not telling us? You think the government has information they're not telling us? I mean, we're hearing now things aren't going back to normal in the next month or so. I mean, this is going to be a while.
Yeah, this is going to be a while. We're not going the idea of relaxing social distancing does not mean we return to pre-March 15th, right? It's going to be a while before we stop social distancing. I was listening to the news today. Connecticut is not expected to relax social distancing in any form until mid-June. And if Connecticut's doing it, New York is doing it, which means New Jersey's doing it. So it's going to be a while before social distancing is relaxed in any substantial way. And when it's relaxed in that way, we'll still have to – it's going to be a very different norm. It's going to be a very different world than we're expecting. And so I think that to some extent we need to start accepting this as normal and finding out how to be healthy in this, because life is going to look like this or a version of this for a while.
Now tell me, if they relaxed it tomorrow, which they're not, of course, if they relax it tomorrow, are you going out? I'm not.
What do you mean going out? Where's there to go?
What's a day? Well, if they relaxed it, say you can go to a restaurant. I don't trust it. Look, Miss Ross walks in here right now, wants to kiss me. That would be a tough one for me.
I would
Miss Ross, thank you if you're home. If you are outside and Pastor's surprising me with your presence. I mean, Diana Ross, come on.
For me, it depends. For me, it really depends on what kind of precautions are being taken in the new world. How is this world reopening? I think is a fundamental question. I don't have any extreme reservations around. I don't have severe reservations around dining in places inherently. It just depends on how do I understand the precautions that those places are taking. And I think the same thing needs to be real for churches, that if your church does not have a clear reopening plan, I think our seniors need to be very, very cautious about re-entering those types of spaces, right? Like our church is we're going to have a reopen team that's going to be committed to coming up with the best possible practice, which will include people who do business, people who are healthcare professionals, people who do management, all these churches have to use the resources that are in our membership. So as we start thinking about reopening, we can't come back to church and church looks the exact same it did before we shut down, because the virus is still out here. It's not gone, right? We're not, was it New Zealand? We have not conquered the virus the way New Zealand says it has, right? Which I don't even know if that's true.
Well, they shut things down for real. Complaining here, they shut it down. You don't leave your house.
And we have not been shut down, right?
Right.
Like grocery stores are dangerous places. Yeah. Grocery stores are petri dishes for this virus right now, but they're essential, so we have to do it. But we have to put pressure on our government to protect us, but we're going to have to also hold our pastors accountable for how we move forward as well, because we can't go in with a type of carelessness. There has to be clearly identified and articulated precautions and restrictions on what it means to be with people, even in worship.
Why do I think I'm going to miss out on my favorite part of service?
And what is that?
The greeting, where we hug and kiss everyone we haven't seen all week.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Like that's.
What about just you and me? When can I plan?
We'll save
to
that for
kiss
Tuesday.
You again?
We can save that for Tuesday.
By the way, do you like I say again? As though because we kiss all the time. That's the. Now, right about now, if this was cross-examination, you'd be objecting, saying that presumes facts not in evidence, Susan. Look, my fantasy world is rich. Okay?
We all need healthy imaginations right now.
You know what? My strategy is I'm making Miss Ross jealous. She's going to show up. She's going to be like with her security team. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah. No.
But so you think it's going to be? Do you think we'd ever return to that?
Yeah. I mean. all things work the way medical science has worked on cases like this. There'll be a vaccine. Many of us will have antibodies that if it's anything like the SARS virus, then those antibodies can live in you for 2-3 years, right? So it's just about we need the government to increase testing, without a doubt, and that's diagnostic testing, but also the antibody testing. We need to know who has this, and we need to know who's had it. And if we're not able to do that, we're not safe out there. And so I think, one day we will be able to go back to hugging and kissing in church and everywhere else because we'll have a virus. But the thing is, we're gonna have to
vaccine. Right?
We'll have a vaccine. We're gonna have to see this like the flu. Right? Like, this is going to be with us. It is not going away. And we're going to have to take the extra measures of vaccinating every year or higher, whatever that looks like for this. I don't.
Tell me if this is fair. Every time I put a mask on, I have two from the wonderful Khadijah Wright, Wonderful Designs. Just give her another shout out.
Shout out to Khadijah.
So every time I put this mask on, I think I'm so aggravated at our federal government and the guy in the White House. Is that fair? It's so his fault.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Right?
Fair.
It's ridiculous. They knew about it. They didn't do anything. And it's all him and these morons he put around him. Right?
The morons he's put around himself, yeah.
The sycophants who he's put around him.
The sycophants.
How about what he's saying to reporters? And he thinks every question should start with, how did you get so wonderful? How do you do such a perfect job? I mean, he's attacking these reporters. This is going to be dangerous come November.
It's a failure of leadership, man.
Yeah, you think Biden's going to be better?
I think Biden will be surrounded by people who aren't sycophants.
Yes.
And I think that he'll be surrounded by creatives and institutionalists who can see our way through this. And so, that's going to be the real question. When this spikes again in the fall into the winter of 2021, that transition in leadership that we hope will happen, we hope that that the vice president, hopefully will be president then, Biden will surround himself with the people who will make the tough decisions, who will make the decisions that are right for this country.
Well, he definitely will put experts
and not just
around.
What's right for the economy, but what's right for personal health.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't even be talking about the economy now, quite frankly. I mean, we can find billions of dollars to give to these corporations. We can find more money to give to the people while we wait this out and do the right thing.
Yeah,
it's
we
about
just
saving
create
lives.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
about
federal government has the power to create money. And as long as the federal government does not exceed the level of inflation, the federal government has the right. It's not a household. The federal government can live on debt because debt creates money in this country. And I think that we owe the national debt. We read that the way we read our households or we read state government, but the federal government and its money creating power does not work the way state governments work, does not work the way city governments work, does not work the way households work. The federal government, as a sovereign government, can create its own money. And as long as the money that it creates into circulation, as long as it does not exceed levels of inflation, we're good. So that's why they can push out $2 trillion on this, because there's a lot more room that the federal government can pump into circulation right now if it wants to. And so we have to start talking about monetary creation and fiscal policy in this country that says, no, the federal government has a responsibility to create money for the people, and stop using this "where's the money going to come from" as an excuse, because I've never heard anybody ask, where's the money going to come from to go to the war in Iraq? Where's the money going to come from to practice to fight the war on terrorism? Nobody asked the question on where's the money going to come from so we can go to Afghanistan. And so we have to because we have a war economy that creates money to fight wars, we have to see poverty as a war. We have to see poor health outcomes in black and brown communities as a war. We have to really start using the power of the American treasury to do this, and you don't have to tax it back. These are the myths that conservatives and moderates tell us because they probably don't know how American fiscal policy works. But there's enough money to solve this problem, to dig us out of this necessary recession that we have to go into.
Ladies and gentlemen, soon to be Dr. Francois, Willie Dwayne Francois. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into Side Pieces. We appreciate you listening in.